And welcome back to Darkness Live, everyone. I hope you've had a wonderful week.
Happy Monday.
Right.
Actually, today is a happy Monday.
Yeah.
Things are getting better.
Yeah.
Things got really bad there for a little bit.
Oh,
but they're getting better.
Yeah.
They're getting better.
It's shit always happens.
Yeah, in the state of Kansas, if you rear end somebody, it's automatically your fault. Even if the people in front of you hit their brakes.
You didn't want to talk about that.
I didn't want to talk about the other
part
of it. Yeah. Yeah. Just saying, personal experience here. Yeah. But hey, you know what? Nobody was hurt and everybody was okay. I'm sure the people that I hit weren't very happy. I wasn't very happy. It was totally an accident, and yeah. But my car was totaled out. I don't have a car right now. But on a positive note, oldest kid tied the knot.
Yep.
Literally
got him married off, and
literally they tied the knot with their hand fasting.
Yep.
Which was really cool because the same lady that officiated Jeremiah and I's ceremony last year officiated Bo and Jerica. So can everybody hear me okay? Because I know last week I went back and I was not very loud. I felt like it was hard to hear me. So I hope people can hear me better.
You just need to talk more into your mic.
Oh, Dave found out the hard way back in '79.
Yeah.
Yes, Christy, I'm okay. I'm okay. Jessica said that they're getting sued over a bumper tap. I feel your pain. Damn. Yeah, guys, we have Progressive Insurance. We went with Flo. Is that her name? Actually, I've been with them for 9 years, over 9 years, and this is the first claim I've ever had, so I really am a good driver. It's just sometimes shit happens.
Yeah,
and
shit happens.
Oh, good. Dave said I'm coming through. Jessica said I'm coming through. Hey, Shannon.
You just need to, when you were having a hard time, when you were quieter last week on the videos, when you weren't talking directly into your mic, so just...
Well, I'm close enough I could pretend it's ice cream and start eating it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
They say you're supposed to eat the mic.
I'm eating the mic. Or break a leg, eat the mic. Same thing. Well, I hope you guys all had a wonderful Monday, got through the Monday. And hey, it is the last day of September.
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow is October 1st. I'm so excited. October's a great month.
Yes, it is.
October is a great month. Oh, by the way, guys, I just have to add this in. Earlier, we were talking to Lena earlier. I don't think she's on right now. And I had forgotten about this. She did a reading for me. When was that reading? Back in...
that's been a minute.
It's been a few months, so maybe June? It was either May or June. I can't remember. But she called out that we were going to
have car trouble.
We were going to have car trouble.
Probably going to have to look at a new car.
In September. She actually called that out. And hello, it happened. Just saying. I just had to throw that out there. But I had completely forgotten about that. And she was like, that did come up in your reading. And then right when she said that, I remembered. Holy shit. She called out September and that, yeah, we would be having to figure out a new vehicle. And at that time when she told me that, I was thinking, whatever. No way, But... she was right.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you just don't think about that type of thing.
You don't want to.
It's
you don't. I mean, but you know what? If I could give anybody advice, it would be this. If you have insurance and you drive a lot, make sure you have the rental added, the car rental part added into your policy, because it's only a few dollars extra a month, and I don't have it. And so I am just...
being a foot.
Without.
I don't have you in my... And
what?
I don't...
somebody called, but we don't know.
I don't know that person.
It was a mystery. Oh, man. Oh, Jessica said Lena also called out theirs as well.
Oh, shit.
You should give her some validation with that. Well, she doesn't even need validation. She just knows. Hey, there's Stephanie. Hey,
awesome.
Stephanie. So let's just go ahead and jump right in here with our guest.
We have our special guest tonight is
he's become a good friend.
Yeah, he has. We met this fellow in St. Louis in the spring.
Yeah.
March or April this year. And there was him and a few other people that we just really clicked with, and it was just, awesome. And he, like Stephanie said, he's become a friend of ours, and
I'll never forget. He brought out this tapestry for his reading table, and I saw it because his reader table was set up kind of like across from us and over a couple tables, but right, wasn't that how it was set up?
Yes.
And anyways, I saw his, like, we just kind of, started talking and whatnot, and I went up and...
I forgot to change the titles. That's okay.
Lord.
I'll get it.
Oh, Lord.
I'll change the titles after the deal.
Anyway, so I saw this tapestry on this kid's table, and I'm like, oh my God, Jeremiah, look at that tapestry. That's where did he get that? I've got to find out. And so I went over, and I just kept going over telling him how awesome his tapestry was that he had on his table. And I've used it at every fair since, actually. Yeah. It's black, and then it's got all these pictures, like white outlines, white images of just stuff that would be
right.
a little witchy related, or just like a raven, a skull, like I don't know, all kinds of stuff that's just, you wouldn't, when you think of Jeremiah and I, or you think of the metaphysical, like you would think of all these images, moons and skulls and all kinds of cool stuff. And so anyways, and he ended up giving me that tapestry at the end of that fair, and I was just like, oh my gosh, he's like the nicest guy. And he did a reading for me as well. And man, his reading was spot on. I'm talking, like, I want to say when he did the tarot reading for me, it was, I'll confirm this when we get him on here, but I want to say he did 18 cards, and he went through it, and it was so accurate. So accurate. But yeah, he's pretty. I always say to Jeremiah every time we see him at fairs, because we run into him at a few fairs, and I'm always like, I just want to shrink him down and put him in my purse, and he can just come live with us, because he's just like the coolest he's just the coolest guy. He's just the coolest guy. Anyway, so yeah, let's get him on here. I'm all excited.
All right. And so without any further ado, we have Esty Robinson, psychic and tarot reader extraordinaire.
I like how you worded that. Extraordinaire. I like that.
Let me make sure I've got the... Oh, there it is. Ah! I had to hit the right button. How you doing, Esty?
Oh, there we go. I can hear you now.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
There we are.
Oh. There you are.
We good?
Yes, we're good.
We're great.
So,
okay.
There's our friend. Esty, I was just saying, I think you probably heard it, but I was just saying that every time I see you, I tell Jeremiah, I'm like, I just want to shrink him down and put him in my purse and he can come and live with us. I think I've told you that, though.
See, that's how I become a traveling gypsy. I'll just couch her. Like, readings for a night stay.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That would be pretty cool if we could, like, shrink him down. I don't know who would have to, like, fight.
I mean...
We might have to fight somebody over it. Yeah. I don't know, but,
well,
I've been trying to do that for years.
So...
Oh, God.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Esty.
Yes, tell us everything that is Esty.
So, we don't want to hear everything. So I'm a
let's keep it
tarot reader.
Let's keep it PG-13.
For one, that's my most well-known trade. I'm also a German tutor online. Teach high school kids across the country how to speak German, so that's fun. But been reading tarot for about 10 years and been practicing. I don't really ascribe to a certain tradition, but I'm just call myself a witch. Practice for about 13 years now.
Are you a witch bitch? Are you a witch bitch?
I am a witch. I'm a bitch. And whatever else that song said.
Do you have your resting witch face? There we go. Do you have a resting witch face? Possibly.
I have to be careful when I'm at shows because it kind of puts people off because I'll be sitting there and I'll just be thinking and in 10 minutes just go, And people's like, why are you angry? I'm just like, I'm not angry. I'm just not here.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I get that a lot too, Esty.
So Esty, you do tarot readings, and how did you stumble upon this path?
Well, I was 13. I was a really hardcore like Christian. My mother's Pentecostal. My family is like does jumping up and down, speaking in tongues, slapping you on the forehead, knocking you down, kind of stuff.
So you've been baptized.
When I was like 6.
Yeah, I was baptized before I could make that decision too.
They start you early. But so do the witches. But I remember I was really hard. I was like 12. I was going through this existential like religious crisis. And like 12-year-olds should not be doing that, by the way. Right. We're not like emotionally mature for that kind of shit.
Right.
But I just like sat up at like I was like 12, 13, sat up in bed one night, turned off the Christian radio station, like, and just thought I should not be trying this hard to believe in something. And then the next day I went to the library and I just randomly found Scott Cunningham's Guide for the Solitary Witch and started reading. I'm like, oh, this makes sense. And I started doing some like the meditations and the exercises in it, and it just went from there. Fast forward to about 15, I was at my best friend's house. And I looked at his mother, because I've known them since I was about 8 at that point, so it's about 8 years. And I looked at her and just said, "You're a witch." And she went bug-eyed and just went, "Excuse me?" Said, "You're a witch. You're going to teach me." How the fuck did you know that?
Wow.
Because I pay attention, lady. Now teach. And her main aspect was divination and herbalism, and she was a tarot reader. And I started getting tarot readings from her. She started teaching me and got me my first deck when I turned 16.
Was it the Rider-Waite?
How it's been going since then.
Was it the?
It was a Rider-Waite. The baby tarot deck.
Yep.
But I do recommend it for everyone, just because it's just so plain and like so open.
Right. Well, there's a reason why.
Like when people start, because like the symbolism's just there.
Well, yeah, and there's a reason why most people. That's probably a lot of people. That's their first deck they get. You know, there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
Statistic. That was my first deck.
I mean. So you can use divination with anything, but as long as you know the meaning for it, which is as long as you can find symbolism and find meaning it yourself, generally that information is going to come through that.
Right. Hey, so should we?
Like that's actually how tarot started. It was never meant to be divination. Like the original. Some people believe it's like ancient Egyptian stuff, but the first actual recorded mention of tarot is an Italian card game from like the 1400s.
Oh wow.
And it was literally just them making stories out of these cards. And it used to be just like a social poetry thing. They would put card after card after card and make a poem out of it. And from there on, like there's almost every form of divination that I've found has started like that. It was started with just symbolism, see people see it, and then you can call it guardian angel, spirit guides, whatever you want. They're just like, this kind of means something, pay attention to it. And people notice that and pick up on it and then start doing it for other people. And I think the only other form of divination I found that didn't start like that was probably the runes.
Okay.
Right.
Just because that's like y'all's thing, and that's like passed down. That was your deities went through some shit for that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but even the runes originally, it was originally developed as a magical type script, but it wasn't originally developed as a divination method. It was more of a way to communicate with the gods and the spirits, as well as still, but they also did use it for just a written language type,
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's the vast majority of divination methods, you're right, didn't start out as divination, a means for divination. So,
Where do you suppose the Ouija board came into play? Like, is that
Mattel
I don't know.
Or Hasbro.
Really?
Or what?
Like, is that
Hell,
the?
I don't know.
Surely that's
I
not
honestly
the.
don't know do you know anything about that? The history of the spirit board or Ouija board? Esty?
I don't really know anything about the history of it other than like excuse me. So the farthest I know back is like one of the original makers. I cannot remember his name. It gets the W. But back in like the 30s and 40s, I know he started putting out, and then Parker Brothers took it over later on.
Oh.
That's about as far back for those that I know.
Man, you got a question like those Parker Brothers. You said Parker Brothers? Is that who? Parker
yeah,
Brothers?
they took it over in like the 50s or no, they took it over in the 60s.
It's like, man, you got to wonder what they were up to when trying to get all the kids playing with a Ouija board.
I mean, weird cults were weird back then.
That's true. That's true.
Like they were some scheming dudes.
Man. Oh my goodness. Oh, so I was telling them, like, before we got you on here, maybe you heard it, but I was telling them about how when you did a reading for me when we were in St. Louis, you called out specifically you called out May, June, and July. And in May you said, Stephanie, you're going to be battling a lot of inner turmoil, and it's all going to be like just you in your head, because you're everybody around you loves you and is supportive of you, so you don't have anything to worry about with that. So you're going to be working through a lot of baggage and stuff like that. And then you said, and in June you're going to run into a financial issue, and then it's going to become like a major financial issue. It's going to be resolved in July. And you were spot on with all 3 months. Spot freaking on. It's like when you did my reading, it's like you knew me and you didn't know me. It's like you knew me just from the cards, and that's so incredible. So do you ever use that to your advantage with people just to try to figure them out?
Not really. Okay, so what I like, tarot can come at it at a lot of different angles. And so most people when they're first starting out, they're just going off the meaning of the cards. And my theory is that the artist had a specific meaning intended for that card, and the more people understand that and know that, that meaning is kind of cemented in like the collective unconscious or the Akashic records, whatever you want to call it. And so that insight's coming from there.
Okay.
What I do is a little bit different. That's why anybody can pick up a tarot deck and give a even slightly good and accurate reading, depending on how open they are. And then what I do, I like to call intuitive tarot or mediumship light.
Okay.
So it's the reason why I had, like, or if you remember, I had you shuffle the cards. I made you do all these unconscious choices. Like, I'm going to have you shuffle. Okay, you're done. Go ahead and cut the deck for me. Okay, go put it in any order. Now choose for me which is the top of the card and which is the bottom of the card. Because, again, I don't say absolutes. This is just my experiences and my theories. It's my experience that everybody has an entity with them when they're born and go through life, and they pick up others, and sometimes they lose some. But you can call them guardian angels, ascended masters, spirit guides, whatever you want. They're there. And so the reason why I have you shuffle is because all these unconscious choices, it's really easy for them to tap into your unconscious. Say, move your hand this way, flick your finger that way. Okay, stop shuffling now. Okay, split it into this many cards. Now put it back in this order, because you're just like, okay, I'm just doing this, not really paying attention. And it's really easy for them to just like tap you on your shoulder. And that is kind of like a method of mediumship for me, because it's them affecting the cards, and I'm just reading what they're telling you, and I'm listening to my guides. And I feel like an overglorified translator, because being a German tutor, I translate a lot, and that when I do readings, it's kind of proctoring that part of my brain. It feels like I'm translating, and when I get the insights and when I get the knowledge, it's sometimes because there's just no word for what they're trying to get across in our language, and so you'll just see me go muff mouth. There's a word. Okay, here's 5 sentences for this one notion that they're trying to get across.
Right. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean by that.
And like, I can be drawn to one certain symbol on a card and look how it's opposed or adjacent to another symbol, and see the same card in another reading, see something completely different. and it's just whatever I'm drawn to and how those things interact. And a lot of the times, I don't really go by what the artist intended for the card. A lot of times, I'm just drawn to the symbolism and what that means to me, and that's just the way how they communicate.
Hey, so have you ever? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just no. You go ahead.
Don't argue now.
Oh, we had an argument earlier, and I won.
No, you first. No, you first. No, I was saying, I don't really need the cards to read people like that. I can interact with entities like that. I just choose not to because it's just based on personal experiences from when I was really young, before I even knew anything about anything. I had some bad experiences with my parents' friends doing some stuff and dabbling in things they didn't know anything about.
Oh dear.
When I was a child. So I have a little bit of a bias against allowing spiritual entities to just contact me or connect with me like that.
Right.
So I like to think of my guides as like bouncers to the party.
Right.
I
can get that.
I get that. I like the way you worded that. No, Esty, I was just going to ask you if you've had any desire at all to try to make your interpretation of a tarot deck.
It's funny you asked that. Now I'm saying it, I actually have to do it. I was debating whether or not to actually write an intuitive tarot book and publish it on Amazon.
Very cool.
Wow. Well, so, hey, I didn't know that.
Now I'm kind of...
I didn't know that.
Now I kind of have to do that.
I didn't know that. And
I have to follow through.
Yeah, that's weird that I brought that up.
That is.
And because I just popped that that just popped in my head to ask you if you've had, any desire to do that. Well, there you go. Do it. I'm saying do it.
I put it out there. Now I have to.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
I actually haven't told anybody about it yet. I've just been making outlines and because everyone asked me to teach them how to do tarot, and I implemented it like a tarot 101 reading to my readings now that I do at the fairs, where I just do a reading for them, and then I have them interpret some stuff and teach them how to give them some basic protecting, grounding, centering, how to connect with your guides, and how to basic exercises to hey, what's up? Who are you? kind of thing.
Right. Wow, that's very cool.
There we go.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Now I'm just actually writing it down because I get a lot of stuff like that during my readings when people ask me how to do something, and I always remember the insights, but I'm just I should probably do something about those and write them down or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
because I'm an awful witch and I don't actually keep an accurate book of shadows. I have 6 of them, but I have 1 or 2 pages written.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? You'll get it. You've got the rest of your life to work on it, right? Oh dear, Sophie's screaming downstairs.
See, you say that, but the woman who taught me is I've known her for about 20 years now, and she's just as much of a lazy witch as I am. That's probably where I got it.
So that
we're just we're gonna. The Sabbath's coming up, guys. We're gonna do an awesome ritual. Let's plan of it. 2 weeks later, oh hey, today's Samhain. What we got? I don't know. I got a pumpkin and some tea lights.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yep. That sounds a lot like the kind of rituals we have going on around here.
Yeah.
So.
It's like,
hell,
what do
we?
we
To go to the store today. What do we got in the cabinet?
What do we have in the cabinet? Oh my goodness.
I mean, we always pull it out of our ass, but damn.
Right.
And when we do try to plan it, it just never goes right.
Right,
so might as well.
SC, I also have to compliment you. When I remember when he did my reading, I was so, even though some of it was not the best, probably if you were an asshole, you probably could have been very rude and blunt about some of my reading when you gave me that reading, right? Damn, this is going to really suck for you. But you didn't. He was very, very empathetic. And so when we see this card, typically we think of this, and just in his delivery of the message that he was giving me, I really
That's another thing I do with tarot readings that I'll probably end up in the book. Customer service.
Yes.
Hey, Kenna said she'd buy it. If you made him, she'd buy him, Esty.
Because Because like I've been to some readers who are just like, this is what this means, figure it out. I'm just like, you're okay. I get that you're being a fortune teller or whatever. Cool on you. You're doing your thing. However, if you're going to be doing it to the public for other people, tarot is a medium for manifestation, healing, change. It's not just like knowing things, because the things that you get from tarot are generally have a meaning behind it. Like it's not just going to give you something for no reason.
Right.
And if you like it's how you approach somebody. Like if you approach them that way, they're not going to learn the lesson. They're not going to connect with you. You're not going to get that transference of information.
Exactly.
And so I had to meet you halfway to get you to like meet me there.
Kind of,
because I can tell you, I was telling somebody this weekend at OKC Pagan Pride, like you already know the lesson. You can tell me you've learned the lesson. You haven't learned the lesson. You know what the lesson is, but you haven't learned it. You don't understand it. I'm trying to get you to the point where you can start understanding it to learn it. It's a vast difference between knowing what you should be doing and knowing how to do it,
right,
and actually doing it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Just to pick your brain a little bit, like when I'm doing readings, when I throw out a rune cast, whether it's a draw cast or a full throne cast or whatever it may be, I'll take a glance over it and just get a general, because you can. And I'm sure you can do the same thing with the cards, but you can get just from the first glance and the first energy that comes off of it, you can get a general idea of what the reading is going to entail. And I will... Oh, this stupid dimmed alarm clock.
You'd think we would like remember to deactivate it or something.
Well,
and it goes off every evening, and I forget every evening.
But like... And I'll and there's been times when I've actually, told the client getting the reading, okay, you're going to have to bear with me here because the runes have a very big habit of being kind of blunt and in your face, and I'm going to try to soften that some, but you might not like everything that we're going to be talking about here, just to try to smooth over that transition so that they can, what's the word I'm looking for? So that they can benefit from it the most.
Well, when you're doing a reading for somebody, the first thing you don't want to do is them to put the walls up or get on the defense or be offended. Like, you don't want that. You want to, get them to bring the walls down a little bit.
Especially for the unskilled reader, and like if you don't know how to use energy work and they do that to you, it's gonna be you're gonna be hard pressed to get anything out of it, even as a reader. Because I've had like when I had a woman at Kansas City Pagan Pride. Okay, let me talk to you real quick. She was she was what we like to call a table hopper. And she went from the woman who was sitting next to me to my table, and then I start doing the reading, and she immediately it's Pagan Pride, so I know they know what they're doing. I know she's doing this intentionally. And she starts shielding, and I'm just
right.
Are we doing this right?
Right? Really?
Wow.
And just the specific way I do tarot and how I have them shuffle the cards and everything, I've already got that connection to you. Like you're a little late to the there.
Right.
Anyways, and I'm just I can feel her having an opposition, and then she smirks at me halfway through the reading and says, "Can you tell?" I'm just like, "Yeah, can you stop?"
Do you want anything here or not?
You're paying me either way for this. Normally I wait till the end to have people pay me just so, because I feel like there are so many people who are trying to scam people doing divination.
Right.
And so I'm like, we'll wait till the end, and if you feel like you got something out of it, you go ahead and pay me. If not, I would prefer you pay me, but I'm not gonna fight you if you didn't get it.
Right.
Because it took me a good 8 years to even be comfortable with charging people.
Right.
Just because I was like, oh, this is something I need to be doing, and then other readers I knew were just yelling at, basically berating me, saying, "No, do you know how much energy you're giving off to them doing this? No, there needs to be a transfer."
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm just like, but they're telling me to do it. I don't care what your guides are telling you. You can still get something.
Well, that's just if there's something wrong with your car, you're not going to take it to a mechanic and expect it for free to get your
Right.
car fixed. You know, you can apply that to, you know, the knowledge and stuff you
And,
gain
like,
from a reading.
And like shrinks you go
Yes.
to, like, you can give you advice for free, but you're gonna pay for
Right.
it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And also, you paying me is enabling me to keep doing this. So
Right.
yeah, I can actually travel places. I can go to St. Louis, like, because I'm in Oklahoma, so I can go to St. Louis. I can go to Phoenix, Arizona, which that was a weird trip, but
I saw a bunch of Facebook posts when you were out there from you, but I never did get with you and see how the trip was.
Oh, did the kitties, the box of kittens, did they sell them, give them away? What was up with the cats? The box of kittens.
box of kittens.
Oh, I think you're talking about from this past weekend.
Oh, isn't that what you're talking about?
No, we were talking about when he
Oh,
went
no.
to Phoenix.
Oh, no wonder he's
Like-
confused.
Phoenix in
Yeah.
July.
Oh, yes, sorry. Okay, I was way on the wrong weekend. I'm a little scatterbrained, what can I say? But yeah, no, I was just going to ask you about the kittens, because you told me the
Oh, the
box of
kittens.
kittens wouldn't shut up from mewing.
Okay, so this last weekend was... So I should have done a reading before I went, for one. Like, I needed to start doing that before I go on any trip. Because I would have known better than to skip on the hotel. So I went to a really cheap motel in OKC, and it was like $30 for the night.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to put names out there or anything, but I had laid down at like
Oh, God.
10 o'clock, and I got literally 5 minutes of sleep before I heard banging and yelling and talking about how you don't know what this is. I'm gonna light this mother up.
Oh, my
and
God.
Like,
What?
I'm near Southside OKC. I'm not dealing with this. I got up. I got clean. I showered a little bit just so I could be clean, and got dressed. Got the hell up out of there. I'm not dealing. I noped out of there. So fast.
I don't blame you.
I spent the entire night at IHOP drinking
Oh, my
coffee
God.
until I had to go to Pagan Pride and do readings for an entire day.
Oh my God.
And I get there, and my table's right next to this people. They're selling like crystals and soaps and incense powders. And they all had purple hair, so I was like, y'all are awesome, because that's what my hair's at right now. And I'm not against this. I was just irritated and so exhausted. But I heard so many mewings.
Oh, my
and I'm like,
gosh.
what is that sound? And they pull out this carrier full of 2-week-old kittens or something like that. I guess the mother cat was psycho or something. But so they had to keep the kittens with
Oh
them.
wow.
But it was the entire day of kittens mewing, and I'm just like,
No.
Oh, man. When you're literally, when you were talking about the mother was psycho or something, I literally wanted to say, I wonder if she tried to eat her young.
Right.
I think she did try to kill one of them. Actually, they were telling somebody about it. But
Oh my gosh.
Ah.
Wow.
I was trying to do a reading.
Oh, man. So when you're that exhausted, it's got to be difficult for any reader to do readings well, I would think.
Not so. For me, whenever I connect and I'm with people and I'm with my guides, I get an energetic high.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so I don't notice it when I'm doing the readings. It's when the reading's done, though, I'm just
Right.
Gotcha.
Just kind of melt in. Ugh.
And then somebody else sits down, and I'm immediately just amped up again. Okay, let's do this. And I'm just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just spiritual. It's spiritual cracks.
Don't you
Spiritual
remember
crack.
when we had that big weekend? And
You should bottle it up and sell it, Esty.
We did all those 3 events in 2 days.
Oh, God. Oh, God, yes.
And ended at Kansas City Pagan Pride. And I shit you not. We started at 8 o'clock Saturday morning and went constantly with maybe a 3-hour nap in there until 11 o'clock Sunday night.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
oh my God, I was I slept for 2 days, I think, pretty basically.
Mm-hmm.
Because
See, I remember Kansas. I remember Kansas City Pride because I got there really early. I just remember at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I've been doing readings. I've been so amped up on just the energy. I don't think I've ate today. So I remember I stopped by Stephanie, I'm finding a steakhouse.
right.
It's so
Like,
it's so easy to do that though. It's so easy to be so immersed in the go of it that you kind of lack the self-care.
Mm-hmm.
that we all preach about, right?
Right? I'm like, you need to take care of yourself. You take care of yourself. When did you last have water?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
I'm sitting here doing a service to the public. Don't attack me like
Oh my
this.
goodness.
Oh my gosh. So I think you had some stuff set up that you wanted to try out a little bit. Are you ready to dig into that, or do you want to? What are you wanting to do?
I just have this in case anybody wanted to see what it is, how I do it. I don't know. There's people who are like don't know anything about tarot or haven't seen it done. Because a lot of people sit down at my table and like I don't know anything about this, and they're just really scared.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are like, "Ooh, I don't know if."
Right.
A lot of people, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready to hear this."
Like, also, if you think you're scared now, wait till after I'm done with your reading and you freak out about because I don't know you.
Right. All right, cool. So you ready to dig into that, or?
Sure. Let me switch over my camera.
Okay.
Real quick. All right. Can you see that?
It'll come up. There it is. There it is.
It'll come up in just a second.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So,
What do they see right now? Which screen do the people see right now?
The one on the right.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, it's full screen. Okay. All right. So basically, I'll shuffle the cards. A lot of people split the deck. One thing I don't like about people shuffling the deck is a lot of people tend to immediately try to bridge your deck. That is bending the cards and like doing the flip thing with your fingers.
Right.
Not only does that damage the card and like lets me know what card's coming up, because I don't really like that. Because the thing with I think makes a good reader is like being able to be unbiased.
Right.
And anytime your ego gets a chance, because it's not a conscious thing, your ego will just jump in if it can.
Right.
If it's fed any kind of information, because it feels like it's important. And like you're not take several seats.
Right. Yeah.
And not only that, but it kind of just like scatters the energies a bit. It just kind of just like flips it away. Then so generally we'll do like a Celtic cross reading for most people because it's the most easily digested, I guess.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll do other readings too, but like I'll start with this. Like if I see the self card, that's kind of that's a pretty self-explanatory card. But I can be really focused on here and the stomach, so they're having maybe some self-confidence issues or maybe not being true to themselves. I could be really focused on the doves, like they're feeling really free about themselves, or maybe the flowers, this fertile, vital energy.
Okay.
And then I'll cross it. And so then union. So union myself is generally, I see that as really needing to connect with your guides, especially if I'm focused on these two parts right here. I don't know how well you can see that.
It's kind of like hard. It's kind of hard to see a little bit.
I think your camera froze.
Oh no.
Or is that on my end?
No, it froze. I can see the corner. Well, that was a bust. Okay. Let me just switch back then. But yeah, depending on what I'm focused on the cards, then I'll keep going if I need to. A lot of the times, if it's not making sense to me, that means I need to get a little bit more clarity and see why that story is not really matching up.
Right, gotcha.
Because for me, like when I first started reading, it was like seeing a movie reel in my head when I'd lay the cards out. And I'd see, okay, this means this, and I'd see this person in that situation, and I'd see play another card down to get clarification, and the movie reel would keep on going, and I just like read out these scenes, speak out these scenes to them, and it would just it Okay, so being an angsty teenager, it was really fun watching people freak out. That was my favorite form of validation, when people would just like go bug-eyed.
Oh yeah, yeah. I never will forget. There was a gentleman. Where was that? I can't remember if it was. I think it might have been St. Louis that I read for. And he sat down. He had the sunglasses on. He had a completely stoic face. Sat perfectly still with his hands in his lap, and just said, "Show me what you got." And I threw the runes out for him, and I said, "Well, okay." And that was one of the ones where I had to tell him. I said, "Look, you might not like to hear some of what this may say, but I'll try to soften it as much as I can. The runes just have a habit of being very blunt." And it started out with I couldn't see his eyebrows over his sunglasses, and by the time it was said and done, his eyes were so wide I could see all of his eyebrows over his sunglasses.
Was that the kid that had like army cargo pants on and like army boots and looked like just real angry? He just looked fucking angry. I remember that guy.
Yeah, it was just very. I gotta agree, and I talked. You remember Amber Edwards when she was on?
Yeah.
I talked to her about the same exact thing. That's always one of the funnest types of validation, is when someone sits down and they don't think you're gonna be able to read them, and they're a total skeptic, but then they're like, "How in the hell did you know that?" You know?
One of my closest friends, this was back in, I think, 2013. He was core atheist, hardcore skeptic. Like, one of the people, he legit went to Skepticon, which is like a convention for skeptics.
Right?
That exists.
And
wow. I
remember I was giving him a reading, and just the first card I laid down, I asked him a question, and he just freaked the fuck out. It was just... I'm like, "So who's doing X to you?" And blah, blah, blah. And he just freaked out.
So, do you always pick up on things that people aren't telling you? Like just talking to them, and you don't ever speak up about it because you're not doing a reading for them?
I try not to. That's why I do a lot of shielding. Like, so being a reader, anybody who's drawn to reading is probably naturally an empath anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You just pick up on things that are emotional, and then from there you pick up on your intuition kicks in, and you start getting the information from that. And so, being somebody who wasn't as very social when I started it, because I started doing everything. I started my path when I was 13, and so I learned the very first things I learned were grounding, centering, shielding. Because I knew from the past that I dealt with as a child, like if I was going to be doing anything, I'm going to know how to protect myself, and I know how to kick ass if I need to.
Right.
So that's kind of like where my focus started, and then I picked up on divination. So I try to shield most times, because I don't need to know your secret kink or your browser history. Like, I don't have time for that.
Right.
Sometimes that comes in handy.
Right.
But on the general, I try not to. I try to shield most of the time. But sometimes things just slip in, and then like it nags at me, and it's like I can almost feel their guides knowing that I can feel it, or see it, and they're just like, "Hey, I know you hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I know you hear me."
Right.
I'm just like, if they want help, they'll ask for it.
Right. Yep.
Because that's another thing I learned really the hard way when I was a teenager. Is like, you can't like help people or do things for them if they don't want it. It's just not gonna go well.
Right.
Like that like transcends spirituality and like occultism, metaphysics, and all that. Like even just like normal shit.
Right.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. it's amazing. It amazes me how much shit you come out of readings with that you don't want to know about people. You know, that you never say, you never mention, because it's not pertinent.
I've lost a few friends.
Hey,
because I'm just like, I know, like, I tried to overlook it because I've known you for so long, but I'm like, what I know now, I can't. You're not gonna be around me anymore.
Right.
You can't you can't unknow things.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know. This is like on the. I'm putting you on the spot for a second, SD. Hey, when's your birthday, by the way?
I was born on Friday the 13th of 1993, August.
Whoa, Friday the 13th, August 13th. Oh, that's right, because my dad, his mom, and you all share a birthday.
Yep.
You damn Leo, you stubborn Leo. Anyway, no wonder you and I connect. We're fire signs. Anyways, I'm totally gonna put you on the spot for a second, but if we put the phone number up here, or whatever, can somebody call and like put you on the spot just to just see what you pick up on? Can you do it like over the phone? I'm totally putting them on the spot right now.
I can do readings on the phone. Yeah, I would just I prefer to like hear them talk or hear their voice or maybe just know their name.
Yeah,
because then I can like ask.
Right. They if
otherwise
seriously, I'm being
blindly reaching into the ether like.
I haven't done that. I don't think I've like done this before, but I just seriously like I just in my mind that clicked in my mind like, ooh, you need to have somebody like call in.
Like, that's how I do distance readings. Like if people message me on Facebook wanting a reading, I can usually look at their profile picture. I can get their name, and then it's just easier to connect that way because I know who I'm searching for and whose guides I'm looking for.
Okay.
Because I'm a believer in the like collective unconscious Akashic records, just because of experiences, and I'm just like, if I know who I'm looking for, the information's going to be there if I ask for it.
Gotcha. But yeah, I just thought, I don't know if somebody watching wants to call in and ask you a question. I don't know if you'd be okay with that or not. Maybe.
Yeah.
You would? Really?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You'd be able to hear their voice and everything, or should be able to.
Oh, yeah. So, I don't know. As soon as the phone number pops up on here, somebody call in and ask SD a question.
Yeah, well...
And he's not going to want to know your secret fantasies and kinks or nothing like that.
The numbers on the screen there now, 316-200-9066. If anyone wants to call in, we'll...
Miss Cleo.
Oh my God. Miss Cleo. Oh my goodness. You know, that's like Esty when we were in OKC and that one mushroom lady. Oh my God. Did you get a chance to talk to her? The lady who...
I didn't talk to her, but I was so enamored. I was just fascinated by her existence.
Well, it was funny because I went up to her and I was like, oh, I said, your accent, where are you from? And she's like, Mrs. I'm not going to say her name just for privacy, but she was like, oh, well, Madame blah, blah, blah is from Romania, but I am from...
Right.
she's like, I am from, and I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It was interesting to say the very least.
She was a...
I mean, that's actually a really smart thing to do if you want to be more anonymous about being a reader and a psychic and a witch, because especially, like, she was an older woman, so back at her time, like, it wasn't a safe thing to be all the time.
Right.
And so, like, creating those personas is really smart. I remember there's a woman in Stillwater. Her and her husband used to sell occult items out of their house, but she was.
We have a call.
They were.
Hey, we have a caller.
We have a call coming in.
Yay!
Hello.
Hello, speaker. Do you have to put it on speaker? Hold on.
Hang on.
Hold on a second.
What did I do?
Oh no. Something went awry.
You answered the phone.
There's no reason this shouldn't be working. Oh, I know why it's not working.
Oh my God.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
There you are.
Esty, can you hear us?
Hi.
I can hear you. Yeah.
We may not be able to hear Esty.
Yeah, I don't hear him.
Rip.
No. We don't hear him.
Shit.
Hey, I hear myself now. Esty, not if you can hear me. Not if you can hear me. Oh, he can hear us. Okay, hold on a minute. This might get tricky. We might have to like have her say the question, and then like I don't know how you're going to finagle. Hey, you know what, Mr. Technology over here? We'll figure it out.
I'm trying.
He's trying.
I don't know why this isn't doing this, but let's see here.
Oh, because we're on Skype and on a phone call. That's probably... How are you doing?
I'm okay.
How have you been?
Not too bad. Trying to have dinner with all the kids and stuff, but I snuck outside.
There you go. All right, girly, hold on a minute.
I'm working on it. Let me try
You're
something.
fine.
Let me try something else here. How about Esty? Speak up.
You hear me? You hear me? Hello? Hello?
No.
Esty, we cannot hear you. Hold on, it's not your end, it's our end.
It's our end. It's not on.
Crap, maybe we should have practiced this before I randomly was like, hey, why don't we have somebody call in?
Let me,
I apologize, guys.
well, I had it working.
I thought I knew what...
I wasn't anticipating this. It's all right. Let me go here and settings.
I just thought it'd be fun to put him on the spot, guys.
Right.
I thought it'd be fun to be like, hey, let's have somebody call in and ask a question. I probably should have talked about this before I spontaneously was like, "Ooh, this is a good idea."
Hello? Hello?
How about now? Can you hear us, Esty?
I've been able to hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, well, yeah, we can. I can hear him, but it's not through the phone or whatever.
Try it again, Esty.
Hello? Hello?
I can hear him.
You can hear him?
You can hear him?
Can people
Yeah. Yeah, I can
watching hear him? Yeah. Everybody on there says they can hear.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So you guys can hear me too, though?
Can you hear the caller, Esty?
Hi.
Are they talking now?
Yes. She just said hi.
I cannot hear her. But is it Jessica? Is that who it was?
Yes.
Okay, I looked at her picture, so we can probably go ahead and go from there. If you can hear me. If you can hear me.
You can hear him, Jessica?
I can kind of hear him. It's kind of muffly sounded, but
Okay. Let's see here. You go ahead and go, and I will see if I can get this working a little better.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, Jesse's shuffling his cards.
Okay.
yeah, I don't really have anything specific that I want to know about. I just
see what pops
hit me
up.
with your best shot.
Did you hear her, Esty?
I can't hear her.
She said
Can she hear me?
Can you hear him?
Kind of. Like I said, it's a little muffly sounded on my end.
She said it's a little muffled.
Hello? Hello? Better?
That is that better, Jessica?
Say something again, Estee.
Say something again, Esty.
Hello?
Okay, I can hear you.
Meow, brown cow.
Yeah. Okay, she can hear you now.
Yeah, she
I
can.
can hear you now.
She can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So for Jessica, I have the scribe. I should probably explain how this deck works. You lost your video there for a second. So this deck goes off of, instead of suits, it goes off elements, because I do a lot of elemental work in my path. So I just connect with it really well. And aces are kind of like the primal oomph of that element, and 2 through 10 are lessons of mastery for the lesson, steps of mastery for the lessons the element has to offer. And so for her right now, I have the Scribe, the Ace of Water, and the Ace of Fire. And so having two elements being really strong for her right now, this is a really great time to start planning things that you want. So fire is a really strong manifestation element. Earth and fire kind of play off each other that way. Fire brings the concept into being. Earth brings the manifestation. So now's a good time to bring to life your passions. So things that might be creative, things that might be like poetry, music, art, anything creative that way. With the Scribe there, it could be make sure you're paying attention to detail, but it's more of make sure you find if you want to express your emotions in a healthy way. I think maybe starting poetry or doing some writing, creative writing that way. Because the Ace of Water is in reverse here. It's never a negative thing with these. It's just more of almost a block. So the emotional free flow is being halted because we need to focus on how to express things correctly and how to manifest things in a healthy way. Not letting negative emotions and thoughts weigh us down. Because they're gonna if we don't pay attention when we do that, that's how we manifest the not so great things in life. Is it still echoing bad?
I got most of the first part of that. It's like I said, it's still a little muffly to hear you.
I
looked down.
Yeah, she said it's a little muffly for her to hear you still, but that might be because how you have the microphone thing set up, Jeremiah.
Let me try and turn my sensitivity a bit.
I don't think it's on your end. I think. Sorry, Jess.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say I can always watch the replay. So right now I'm just getting what's that? My computer won't wait for a second. Find some creative outlet for yourself to express, to get rid of those maybe downer energies that might weigh you down a bit. Having that outlet flow a lot easier instead of bottling them up. And then I have the Age of Air. So here, just be really careful that when you're helping people, don't help so much that it hurts. You might have a tendency to do that. You might be maybe a bit of a martyr. This card shows up. So don't bottle those. Don't become a resentment. That could be something that's bottling up for you. Just take your time. Express things in a healthy way, and maybe something that's doing stuff like poetry and writing, or expressing yourself in a creative way. Those things will kind of alleviate stress without putting the negative thoughts out there. And then coming up. You're gonna need to go ahead and let go of some things that aren't serving you, and that's gonna bring some balance into your life. So I would say the next few weeks, pay attention to patterns and things that just don't work well for you. That constantly bring up negative emotions, be it stress, be it anger, be it depression. Find those patterns. Kind of like learn the zet. Pardon my crudeness. Learn the zen of fuck it, and just let it flow away. That's going to bring a lot more balance between your mental state and what's happening. That's what I got.
Wow.
Right. Well, I'm going to definitely have to catch the whole replay of it all, because I was only getting little bits and pieces of it, but I'll check it out.
Yes, go back and watch the replay, and when you hear the replay, you're probably going to have, your jaw's probably going to drop, and you're probably going to be like, oh my god, how did he...
Holy shit. Yeah.
How did he do that?
Some of the parts I could hear, I was like, okay, I got it.
Hi, Tyson. Sorry.
Yeah, that was cool. Esty, thank you for doing that, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, Jessica, you're gonna have to like give us some feedback and like let us know what you thought, because I just have a feeling that your jaw's gonna drop and you're gonna be like, wait, what? How did he pick up on that?
That's very cool.
Okay. So now that you can actually hear me, TLDR, find a creative outlet, and the next few weeks learn to notice patterns that are causing you stress, anxiety, depression, anger, any negative emotions, and learn to just let that shit go, because it's easier said than done, but small steps of just saying it doesn't matter, it's not affecting me right now. I'll write about it, I'll sing about it, I'll do an angry fire dance to it. Just like let it, find a creative expression for it, and then it's gonna bring a little more balance into your life, just to be able to get rid of those negative emotions instead of bottling them up. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Very cool. Are you there, Jessica? Can we hear you? See if you.
Yeah, I'm here.
You can hear us now, or we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you and Stephanie pretty clear. It's just his is still just a little muffly, but like I said, I'll catch the replay of everything and I'll give feedback.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, that last little.
You know I will.
Oh, I know that. I'm so grateful for that. That last little bit there, he pretty much summed up everything for you. Like the last little bit that he just said, summed it all up. So yeah.
Right.
Oh, and Esty, we will like forward you what she says. Like we'll let you know what she said about it. But he's like, I already know she's gonna be like, oh my gosh, you know. But
the cool thing about her reading
yes,
is,
thank you for calling, Jess, and I hope that you find
because
absolutely, and I hope
there,
you find him.
If she makes the choice,
what
like
he
also
said
have
helpful
use that
for
creative
you
outlet to
and
maybe
insightful.
put her desires out there and maybe what she wants
all
to
right,
happen.
girly. Well, we're gonna hang up. Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully,
that
guys, hopefully, like going forward, we'll get this part better, like down to a science with how to operate all these different what do you call them, platforms?
Yeah, I don't know
what they're called.
Problem merging the phone call with the video, but we'll get it. That's one more thing to add to the list. We'll get it figured out. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, my dear. We'll be in touch. Bye.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Okay, we got you back now, Esty. Sorry about that.
Okay.
We were kind of having to jump back and forth between being able to hear her and being able to hear you. So.
Gotta do what you do, man.
So I'll get that figured out, because that's a pain in the ass. But that was really cool.
Yeah, it was. Thank you so much for doing that, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. So
and that's one thing, like, especially when I'm reading, one thing I know how I'm connecting with things is, it feels weird, but it's like almost like there's hands coming across and just like grabbing my head like this, and it's just warm and tingly. It feels like fingers coming across and just settles there while you're doing a reading, and it's just like, that's fuzzy.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Well, that was incredible. You didn't even see her. You've never met her. You've never talked to her, and just to pick up on the cards that you pulled. So do you have a bunch of different decks that you read from, or do you have one primary one that you like to use, or does it depend on the person?
So, for the first 8 years, I had one deck only. That was the one that the woman gave me, who taught me. That was a Rider-Waite deck. And then I found the Streams of Gaia deck, which is element-based, and I fell in love with it. Just because I do, like I said, I do a lot of element work in my path, a lot of spirit work, and a lot of stuff like that. And so it just really clicks with me, and the symbolism of the artist did such an amazing job. It's the Dreams of Gaia deck by Raven Phelan, Phelan.
Cool.
And she did such an amazing job doing it specifically for intuitive readers, I think, because she hides so much symbolism in the card that you can look at the card 10, 15 different times and find something new each time.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh, wow.
And she's really good about hiding not only like symbolism, but occult symbolism as well. And so things that like trigger, and they are symbols that do trigger reactions, especially if you do work with spirits and do energy work and elemental work, and just kind of like send you off a whole different path of like thinking, and it's awesome. I love that deck. I love this deck so much.
You know.
Right.
And then I remember I did this fun little trade with you for that Wildwood.
Yes. Yes.
And that's actually become another one of my favorites, just because it's so shamanic in a way. And I don't consider myself a shaman, but I do some of the practices that are similar to it, that from what I've read and from people I talk to. I've never been trained or taught. I don't do shamanic things. I don't know much about the shamanic journey. But just some of the practices I do naturally and intuitively, I've talked to them. They're like, oh yeah, that's actually, you're doing this. Cool. But that deck, just the symbolism in it, with it being having so many animals and having so much symbolism, especially with Celtic lore.
Right.
Because now I've been doing a lot of genealogical research, and I'm finding that what I thought was my family line isn't. I thought I was Germanic, like from Germania and France and Middle Europe. Turns out I'm from both sides of my families end up being from the Isle of Man. So that's fun.
Right.
And so I'm just like, oh, that makes sense why I'm really heavily into Celtic things.
Oh, is that him?
That's really cool. So that brings up another question. It kind of validates what I think have gone through in my past as well. But you know, when there definitely is something. Now, I'm not saying a person has to be bound to a specific path based on their DNA heritage,
right.
But there is almost a palpable connection there, isn't there?
Right. I see it as ancestral magic and ancestral lines, following an ancestral path that you're tied to through your DNA. It's a lot like going to somebody's house and asking for a cup of sugar.
Right.
If you go to your cousin's house, yeah, I'm going to give you a cup of sugar. I'll help you. Come on. If you go to a random stranger's house, they're just going to look at you like you got a 50-50 chance of them saying yes, 50-50 chance of them saying no. Sometimes they might be really angry that this random person showed up demanding something from them.
Right.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
And that's why I like to, whenever I'm talking to people, like I call them witchlings or baby witches, be really careful about the things that you pull from other paths, because some things are ancestral. Like some of the things you guys do is very tied to your ancestral lines.
Right.
And things people, especially like people who are really into like, oh, I'm gonna do voodoo, I'm gonna do hoodoo, and like, you don't understand that's some strong ancestral magic, and you can find a certain ancestor spirit and try to connect to them, and they will be pissed.
Right.
Hey, I got
like,
I got a
especially the things that they've been
right.
through.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your screen went away, or the chat thing. We can't see the chat thing, but I have a question for you, SG. So, have you ever? Okay, so first off, do you follow any goddesses, or do you reach out to any of the goddesses for, you know what, like, how would you say that? Advice or help, or
I know what you're asking. I get the feeling.
Okay.
So when I first started out, I went with the woman who taught me. She follows Diana, which is the Roman goddess of the moon, and hunt. She's like the Greek. She's the Roman equivalent to Artemis, I think it is. They're like two sides of the same coin.
Oh.
A lot of gods and goddesses are pretty much the same. They're just from different cultures and people different perception of them. That I find this like working with their energies.
Right.
That's just the personification of them gives them a different face, a different facet of them.
Diana would be the Roman version of Artemis, who was the Greek, and I believe
Artemis was my archetype, which is interesting. You said Artemis. That's my archetype.
Yeah. And so like I've been for the last few years, I've kind of been like stepping away from the personified aspects of deities and just working with spirit in general. But recently, like, I've been doing meditations and circles, and I'm just like, all right, which one of y'all are stepping up to the plate? Who's got a message?
Oh, wow.
like, I feel it's rather odd for us to go to somebody and say, I'm gonna choose you. I'm just like,
so
maybe it should be the other way around.
Right. What you just said is kind of where I was going with that. So do you think that, because I find it interesting that I've never been one to follow gods or goddesses, like, ever, right? And the past few times we have gone to this one particular place, I was super drawn to this one I didn't even know who this was, okay? I didn't know this was like a painting of a goddess or anything like that, but I was really, really drawn to this one particular lady or image. And I mean, like, I saw it and I was just like, oh my God, like, I want this in my house. Like, I love this. And the first initial image I saw was on a postcard, okay? And it was this, she was kind of witchy looking, dark hair. She had a raven. She, like, the colors of the picture, it was more like the darker colors. Come to find out, you know, I told Jeremiah, I was like, man, I don't know what this is, but I love this or whatever. And I was really drawn to her. Well, her name, she's the goddess of
the Morgan.
Yeah, the Morgan or Morgan. The Morgan or Morgan. And I really, really am drawn to her. I don't know why. But then come to find out.
That makes so much sense, honestly, with you.
Do what? What? I didn't hear what you just said.
That makes a lot of sense with you.
Right? Well, it was funny that I was super drawn to her, and I didn't know why, because she just spoke to me, and I'm just like really drawn to her. And I don't know. I don't know if that's so my question to you is, do you think that sometimes you're, you know,
yeah, sometimes you just are, just because sometimes they do reach out to you and just like say something or give you like an inclination of like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I've just recently, literally like this past weekend, right before the shooting and talking about shooting and stuff at that motel, I was just doing meditation and I got a weird, almost sing-song rhyme stuck in my head. And like, I don't know if, like, it's not my place right now to talk about who it is, until I feel a little bit more of a strong connection. But it was just, I looked up some of these references to this person, and I'm like, well, that's something. Or to this deity, anyways.
Right.
Like, because I've had, like, odd little blips with them before, just not in, like, invocation or, like, spiritually connecting with them, but they've occurred multiple times.
When you say...
So...
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Here we go again. Now listen here, I'm the fixed fire. I will
I give, man, you win. I give, you win.
You were asking a question.
Yes. So, do you feel comfortable with saying, like, are you when you talking about little blips and stuff like that? Are you talking about a specific, like, god that's been coming to you, or are you talking about like a goddess, or what are you talking about?
A specific goddess.
Okay. It's not the Morgan, is it?
No.
See, and one of the
it's just like, I don't feel comfortable claiming them until I've like had more chances to connect with them and like see, am I just getting a message for somebody? Am I like am I like a motive? Like, am I a vehicle for like information for you? Am I just a messenger, or are we like, we doing this thing?
Are we doing this? Are we doing this? Yes. Who's paying? No, so along that lines, you know, one of our good friends was like, Stephanie, you should really check out Bridget, like the goddess Bridget. And so I kind of like checked her out or whatever, because she's like Celtic, and I've always been drawn to Celtic things, but I've never really understood why or anything like that. But I'm just not drawn to Bridget as much as I am drawn to the Morgan.
No. So even though you are like a fire sign, and even though you like have some of that energy with you, Morgan just like fits you like a glove, to be honest.
Yeah.
Can you explain why?
It's just you both walk a path, a set from almost everything else. Like it's you have that same side wavelength that just doesn't match up with a lot of other things.
Well, I won't lie. One of my daughters thinks I'm an alien, so I'm a little out of this world sometimes. It's because my toenails don't grow. What can I say? My toenails don't grow, and that's why one of our daughters thinks that I'm an alien. She told me that. She's 10. She told me that. She was like, Mom, I think you're an alien. And I was like, really? She goes, yeah, boy. Seriously, I don't think you're from Earth. And I'm like, why do you say that? She's like, because your toenails don't grow. And I'm like, wow, yeah, maybe I am an alien.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, so getting that out there, you know, do you think that it would be in my best interest to do more research about her or call upon her? Or when this sort of happens to somebody, where do you go from there? Like, what do you do with that when it's brought to you?
I like to do initial research first of all.
You mean aside looking?
And I feel like if they come to
aside looking,
if they come to you and you don't know what they are, who they look like, or like what they're supposed to look like, and you're just seeing images and you're getting these messages and you're seeing these things, these like synchronicities over and over again, then I feel transcends the whole ancestral thing, and it's them coming to you with something, and then it's your job, I feel, it's not your job, it's your choice to connect with them or not, and call upon them and see why they're connecting with you, whether it be for that you might know somebody who they're trying to get a hold of. They might have a task for you, like there's something that needs to be done, and they're just like, hey, there you are, you do this. Because for me, deities are similar aspects all the way around, and they just find personifications the same way our spirit guides do to best communicate with us. And so like most people, when they start doing mediumship, they don't really see full-on faces of personas and personalities. It's kind of like a gaseous blob of energy.
Right.
And the more you work with it, they start taking on form. You start hearing a very specific voice. You start getting an energetic signature from them. And I feel like that's the similar thing with deities. Like it's, like I said, for the longest time I worked with a nondescript like spirit itself, and now it's starting to take a form to talk to me for some reason. So that's kind of my vaguely occulty agnostic, I guess, thing. Because I don't know, I'm also somewhat of a skeptic myself, and because I feel like the brain and the ego does a lot to like try and confuse us and try and like rationalize things for us.
Right.
And being somebody who studies the occult, it's really easy for us to kind of put our knowledge of the occult onto something and say that's what it is instead of that being it. In reality, it could be something else. So I like to take things step by step and kind of like make sure it's not my ego or somebody else, which is a possibility, trying to say or do something.
Trying to influence. Gotcha.
Because it's, I mean, depending on how far you get into witchcraft, there's fetches, there's egregors and stuff like that people could send to try and confuse somebody else. I do know some people who I'm pissed off, but I like to think that I have the protections in place to like recognize that.
Okay. Well, that is helpful. I appreciate that.
So like as far as like the Morgan goes, like definitely next full moon or dark moon that comes up, go have a little talk.
Yeah.
You know what I thought of, Jeremiah? Like we're talking about the Morgan and stuff like that. Do you remember when I don't remember what I was doing, if I was in the shower, the bathroom, somewhere, and I all of a sudden came downstairs, or maybe I was dreaming, I don't remember. But remember I told you, I said, oh my God, I just got this really vivid image of this lady. Yeah. And she had dark hair. I've never seen her before. I've never met her before.
We talked about that
and
on our last drive back.
That really makes me wonder if maybe that was her, or that was, you know what I'm saying, like,
right?
Because that was prior to like me seeing this very, and if I could draw, I could have drawn her, you know, me seeing this very vivid image of this female, and what did she say? Oh, sorry, I got sidetracked. This very distinctive image of this female that I've never seen before ever, and then when I see her like hand-drawn picture, I'm like, holy shit, that's the lady that I've seen before, you know. So you think it's possible?
And that's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
They just kind of they'll show up the blip here now, and then you get the name, and it's almost like all those little instances connect at once, and you're like, oh shit.
No shit, the aha moment. The aha moment. Right, exactly.
It's like hitting a brick wall, like, oh.
Yeah, it is. And
right.
And it just, I don't know, it's just really cool.
And then you're just like, how did I not see this entire time? Why was I not privy to this information?
Exactly. See, maybe she's going to allow me to grow my nails out, so I'll be a little more witchy with long fingernails rather than, you know, always.
There's always acrylic.
God, Esty, I don't think I could function.
Get those dragon stilettos.
So.
Oh jeez.
We are about out of time, Esty, but I have to tell you this. So the other night at our son's wedding, he was we were just sitting around trading stories and whatnot.
Oh my God, he would be so embarrassed that you're going to bring this up.
The whole, you remember in Midwest City. We told you about the Dragon Man story, and that whole thing came up. That whole thing came up, and
in his toast from his now brother-in-law, who was with him, and they ended up going to it ended up being a gay strip club.
Yeah.
A gay strip club, and none of them are gay. Like, none of them are, like, at all, even remotely, into dudes. And so, yeah, and so for them, and then they were like, oh,
so
who's Dragon Man?
Him, that story entertained a lot of people in Oklahoma City a little while back, and he just turned beet red in the face.
Oh yeah,
and put his hands down.
Oh yeah,
and he laughed about that for about 5 minutes straight, I think. So.
Yeah, ST, and it's not hard to picture his you know, it's not hard to picture Bo, because he literally looks just like Jeremiah.
He looks like me, but with hair.
But with hair and black frame glasses.
Yeah.
I mean, identical. I mean, they literally look like they look identical, except he has hair, but you know.
So,
oh, hey, before we let you go here, what are you going to be for Halloween? Do you dress up for Halloween?
Sometimes I do, but I think this year I'm going to end up being a lazy witch scrambling at the last minute.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. At least you know what to expect.
But I did see some people wanting some readings, so if you guys want, I think they linked my Facebook page. Just message me on there, and I'll have no problem.
Yes.
Yeah, I will. I'll put your Facebook page info up in the video description when we're done here, and I'll get the video title changed to what it should have been in the first place.
Yes.
And
hey, yeah, so guys, we super duper extremely apologize for not doing our little contest when we hit 300 likes, because let's just say it just didn't happen.
Yeah, it's just been one of those weeks. We'll talk about.
Yeah.
Let's let Esty go, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So, but thank you so much, Esty, for coming on and joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
You the best.
We're going to definitely have to do this again.
Yeah, anytime.
And I really like what you were trying to do with the document camera and all that. Maybe we can
get all the kinks worked out
and get it working a little better next time or something. So
got to get all the kinky out. I mean, the kinks worked out.
Oh my god!
I don't know if that's possible.
Well, you know.
Oh God! Thank you.
Remember, I'm not a reading fan.
Oh, this is true. This is true.
Oh man! All right. Well, we're gonna let you go, SD. But thank you so much. Like I said, and we'll definitely get this set up again sometime soon. This has been a blast.
Yeah, it has. I just want to shrink you and put you in my purse and carry you around with me. I just want to. Oh, by the way, everybody, while we have him on the phone, he's the one who gave Jeremiah this gargantuan of a stone here. Wong.
I don't know if you've seen this since I charged it, but when I charged it in the new moon, the first new moon after you gave this to me, SD, I don't know if you remember when you gave it to me, it was almost all black. And then, but when I charged it, all the color came out, and man, it is absolutely gorgeous now.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
That's amazing.
It really is. All right.
I had intended to use it for like just an altar piece, sort of amplify piece or something like that, but it was ended up being in my storage forever. I'm just like, I remember somebody needed a lavender, right? I'm just going to take this with me next show and who the hell did it?
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes. All right, friend. We'll be in touch soon.
All right. You take care.
Bye. Oh, my God. I so mean that. I wish I could just shrink him down. Like in that movie, Honey, We Shrunk the Kids, and just shrink him down into like a marble size and just put him in my purse. He could go in my purse with all of my other little trinkets that I carry around. Although I was good. I've cleaned out my purse, cleaned out the car, and then I wrecked it. So it's gone. God damn it. Pardon my language.
Oh, man.
Anyways,
it's all good.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be.
It will.
Yes. Jessica and Christy. What?
Tomorrow is a whole new day.
Yeah. Tomorrow is a new day. And it's October 1st tomorrow. And everybody, our littlest baby, she turns 2 on Wednesday, and I'm like,
I don't have a picture that I can get to her.
Yeah,
quick,
so
but,
next time we talk to you guys, we literally will have a terrible 2-year-old.
Oh God.
She got a jump start on that though.
Feels like we've been living the terrible 2s for several months.
Well, and it's so funny because anybody who's been around since we had her and stuff, I don't know why I keep this, I can take it out now. Anybody who's been around since we've had her and we're like, hey, she'll be 2. It's like, what? Has it almost been 2 years? I don't know. I blinked and it's been almost 3 years. Like, what? Where'd the time go?
Yeah,
that's
that
crazy.
We've been together, so yeah.
That's crazy. I'm getting more gray hair. I know. I'm getting like more gray hair coming in.
It's my fault, isn't it?
Well, I attribute all these damn gray hairs to all these damn kids. They tend to. Oh, Stephanie said 2 was her favorite. Not me. I love my daughter, but I don't like her. I do not like her right now. She's a handful. She's so cute though. Like she'll say such cute things.
Yeah.
And then we were at the wedding on Saturday. Our daughter-in-law, her sister has a little girl who is like 6 months older than Sophie, and her name was Gwendolyn, and she was the cutest little girl. But Gwendolyn, I mean, her hair was like down past her shoulders, little blonde haired. I think she had blue eyes, but she was just absolutely adorable little girl. And her and Sophie started playing, and it was so cute to see, like the 2 little girls.
Until it almost came to blows. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. They started getting, that's mine. No, that's mine. About sippy cups and toys and all this stuff. And Stephanie says 3 was hell on wheels. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to 3. Nope. Yeah. I remember my 2 when they were 3. It was god awful, man. And I'm like, okay, I'm older now, so I'm more laid back, more patience, but I don't know that you ever get patience for the little terrible 2-year-olds. Oh God.
Oh.
We'll get through it though.
Yeah, we will.
It's only temporary.
So we were saying a while ago, we had talked last week about our 300 likes contest that we never did get published.
Sorry, we're super bad procrastinators, guys.
It's not just that, but this last week has just been crazy. With the wedding and the wreck she had in her car and just everything else.
Man, I'm going to miss that car. It had my alien stickers on the back. I had 2 stickers. One was an alien head. Remember, like, back at the skating rink in Dillon's, you could get, like, alien head stickers in, like, the 50-cent machine. Yeah, it was one of those kind of stickers, except it was actually for a car. And then also I had this other one, and it said, the truth is out there, and it had, like, a UFO or whatever. And I'm like, Mike, my stickers are gone.
We'll get more.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some, I don't know, Alien versus Bigfoot,
like a Bigfoot being beamed up,
family stickers,
like the Bigfoot and the little.
We'll have a Bigfoot and an alien, and then
little aliens.
Hybrids.
Yeah, what would the hybrid be like?
Hell, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Like an alien head on a hairy body,
maybe
something like that.
Speaking
of, look at your shirt. Check out that shirt, people. I found that at Dillon's, and it's Bigfoot, and it says, you can't see what it says.
Photogenic.
It says photogenic. The irony there. I love it. I love it.
Anyway, we will get something figured out for that. It's we're not trying to put it all off, but we will.
Oh yeah, see, Kenna wants to get a reading.
Yeah, we will get something figured out, and we'll get it announced somewhere between now and at the very latest next week's show.
We'll do something extra special since we put it off. We didn't put it off on purpose. It's just shit happened.
Yep.
Shit happened.
But we will get it figured out, and we'll get it planned, and yes.
And yes, and by the way, I have to say this. Everybody who we've had on here, we have personal experience with.
Yep. And
personal experience with readings.
Yes. I will personally vouch for every reader that we've had on here.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, they are all fantastic. And yes, Esty, I just love him so much. Like he is just, I just love him so much. I wish he lived closer. Is he going to be at KC Meta?
I think so.
Because Yanni, way back here in the chat or whatever, Yanni was asking him or talking about Esty or whatever and a reading or something. And yeah, we should have asked him if he's going to be at KC Meta.
I think so.
Because I know
I think that
her and her husband.
I think that came up in one of our conversations down in Oklahoma City.
It could have been.
So, anyway.
It could have been.
You know what? It is that time. We need to jump off of here and go spend a little time with the kids before it's time to ship them off to bed.
Yep.
So, thank you so much, everyone that jumped on here and watched with us.
Oh, yeah.
And we will be back next week, and...
we'll have pumpkin patch stories next Monday.
Yeah.
Sunday, we're going to take kiddos to the pumpkin patch and celebrate 3 of the kids' birthdays.
Yep.
So, it's kind of easier that way. Just kind of lump all the fall birthdays together.
Right.
So, all right, you guys have a great night. And we will post Esty's link to how to get a hold of him if you want to do a reading with him. And, yeah, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week.
Yep. And... keep an eye out because we might get the contest or the fun 300 like thing celebration announcement out before next week. But if we don't, it will be next week. Next show, the 7th.
I have no idea.
I believe it's 7th.
I don't know. Whatever.
At the very latest, and yeah. In the meantime. Don't be scared of the dark.
Oh, and Thursday we'll post the next... who we're going to have on next week.
Yeah. Bye. Y'all have a good night and a good week. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.